You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Hug and Duggan.
Oh my God, let's do this. I'm excited. Let's roll.
And Cal, the coach, Duggan.
Okay, I'm just going to get in front of this. Kevin's all excited about the Salyer thing that he called it out, but he was still wrong. Wrong is wrong. You called right tackle. He's playing left tackle, so you're wrong.
You
Just
called
like
Brian Bulaga, Iowa, and he's on a couch somewhere. At least I'm in the right ballpark of what happened.
I was wrong. You were wrong. We were both wrong.
How wrong was I? Let's hear it in the comments.
There's no
I'm pretty
levels
sure Kyle was
wrong.
absolutely
Wrong
wrong.
is wrong.
I wasn't that wrong. I said right tackle, and I didn't even consider left tackle. And guess what? That's what he is. So I'm excited about it.
So yeah, we were both wrong, but we're excited about the idea of Salyer.
You're a little more wrong than I was, but we'll just leave it at that.
There's no degree of wrong.
Well, folks, lots to talk about this episode, obviously. We've got ourselves a Craig experience lined up, and we've got to take a look at all of the talks around the Chargers, including their tackle situation. First and foremost, though, Kevin,
yes.
You're in Florida right now. You were in the line of Hurricane Ian, and we want to make sure everybody wants to know, how are you doing? Are you doing okay?
Doing good, man. Went to sleep with some rain and some light wind, and woke up with the same thing. So we kind of slept through the craziness. So I just want to thank everyone that DM. We had a lot of people DM me, and I appreciate you guys. Everything's good, and the family's good, and there's a lot of crazy stuff down here. So it's not good for everyone, but we are safe, and I'll get home in one piece. That's for sure.
Well, that's all we can ask for, is that Kevin gets home in one piece, and his family, I guess, all the other Duggan clan
I got a lot of
members.
little pieces to bring along, but they're all coming in pieces with me.
Awesome. Okay, well, glad you're doing good. Yes, let's take a look here now. The Rashawn Slater news is finally official. Per Tom Pelissaro, Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a ruptured bicep tendon in Sunday's loss to the Jaguars, and is expected to miss the rest of the 2022 season, per source. He's getting surgery. He got placed on IR, and so it's official. He is out.
Got official real quick with that, that tweet.
Well, they wanted to be quick about it. I mean, like Kyle said, he was like, just put him on IR. Why are we waiting? Just get him on IR, get it done, get it taken care of. And so it pretty much happened the next day.
And who knows? Maybe I'm still a little too excited about this team. Super Bowl run, that's a lot of months away. I'm not saying a bicep heals by Super Bowl time, but I've seen some crazy shit. He's got to go to Mexico and get stem cells and probably do a lot of illegal stuff, but let's make it happen.
Is it better though that a big injury like this happens at the beginning of the season? You get time for the backup to get some time and actually get a little bit of mileage under his belt. Instead of Salyer hasn't played a snap, this happens week 14, and then it's like, oh God, what are we gonna do? So trying to find that little glimmer of something good.
I love it, Kyle. I love you looking for the shamelessly positivity.
I feel bad for the guy. Just he had an absolute insane rookie season, comes back, all this expectation, and boom, that's going to be mentally, that's got to be tough for him to have to try to process and get through, because he's going to be on the sideline, not with his team for the whole rest of the year.
Well, he had a good message on his Instagram. If you guys aren't following Rashawn Slater, he basically just had something that said, hey, obviously not the way we wanted it to go, but it's just going to give me more opportunity to get better and get healed and all of that stuff. So if I believe anybody, I believe Rashawn Slater. He's just that kind of a guy, that kind of character that I expect him to truly mean it when he's talking about getting better and getting fixed up. So as we mentioned, yes, new left tackle per Daniel Popper. Plan is for Jamari Salyer to start at left tackle on Sunday per Brandon Staley. Jamari is earning this opportunity. Coming out of training camp, that was what we felt had happened. And then Storm had an opportunity to play. Now, through 3 games, we feel that we have some evidence that we have to make a change, Staley said of the choice to see Salyer slot in over Norton. That's what we're doing. We're making a change to put the best 5 guys that we feel like give us a chance. So
Wow, this
basically
is
said it.
crazy. Yeah,
He's like,
Storm.
we've had enough evidence.
We've
Storm's not
seen
the
it.
guy.
We've seen it, and they're actually saying it now, like properly saying it now. He's not going to see the field again unless it's some extreme condition. I don't know how much longer he's going to be on the team, to be honest.
Well, how do you stay on the team? Yeah,
That's
what's the point of carrying him if he's going to get he's going to get jumped over by a rookie that hasn't been playing left tackle, and we're going to have that more confidence in him. Like, okay, all right, cool, good luck, Storm, somewhere else. I can't understand why he would want to be here either. You know that you're not going to get a fair look at anything here moving forward. You're not the guy for us.
Right.
Or a fair look, maybe even at another team. Like, he's probably a practice squad player on any other team after kind of the performance he put out. So I'm just glad that they made a decision. I know it's not, sometimes it's easier to be like, oh, this thing we don't know, that's way more exciting because we don't know what it is. We haven't seen it play. But I'm genuinely excited to see this kid play. I think he's got a lot of potential. We were excited we even got him. It was surprised that he fell to us when he did.
Yeah, the article continued. For Salyer, he'll move away from guard and revert back to a position he played the last 2 years during his time at Georgia. In Salyer's final 2 years in the college ranks at left tackle, he allowed just 1 sack and posted a pass blocking grade of 86.8, according to Pro Football Focus. That was the position he played in college. For us right now, we feel like that's the best option for us going into this game plan. Knowing that we have Storm Norton as a swing guy and knowing that Trey and Matt Filer have played tackle, this is Staley, said, we're going to try and attack this week heading into the game that way, and we're excited about that. Jamari has done a really good job during training camp. He has stayed ready. He's going to be ready for his opportunity.
I mean, it's more exciting. Like, we know what we're going to get out of Storm Norton.
Right.
So, like, going into the game, there's not excitement. And this is an opportunity for us as fans to see Jamari, who could be a future, like, big piece of our offensive line. I think Kev, you said it on the last episode. This is an opportunity for him to solidify himself as that right tackle of the future. Right. I know he's playing left and there's the switching left to right, but Trey's on his last year of his rookie deal. He has been okay. But if Jamari could come out and play like we all hope he's going to, he becomes that right tackle once Rashawn comes back. And then you got your 2 guys. So I don't know. This is an exciting move as a fan. I'm excited to see how it's going to go. I wouldn't be excited if it was Storm Norton because I know what to expect.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not to say that he's guaranteed that Jamari is going to just come out and kill it.
No.
He may struggle at first.
The upside's more interesting and more fun as a Charger fan.
Exactly.
It's a long term.
Yeah. The one thing that everybody's been wanting to post lately, ever since Jamari got announced, is that clip of him in college going up against, I think it's Aiden Hutchinson, the guy who was drafted second overall, and just putting him in the dirt. So
he won. We got to remember, he won a national championship, and he was going against some of the best college players that there are. So it's not NFL players, but I think if
most of the guys that he played against. Most of the guys he played against in the SEC are now in the NFL. Like that's the reality of playing in the SEC week to week. So
to be able to at least go up against first round talent and perform the way that he did is head and shoulders so far above what we can expect from Storm Norton.
I still don't get how he slipped where he did. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how he was drafted where he was with his performance in the SEC at the tackle position. I guess maybe I don't know if he's a guard or a tackle, but man, it seems like he just fell for maybe whatever. I can't make sense of how he fell where he did.
Right.
Diamond in the rough.
And then Salyer has a quote here, says, Coach pulled me aside on Monday, told me that they were thinking about it and felt like it was a good option, Salyer said. They asked me how I felt about it, and I said I felt good. I've played there in college, so I'm excited about the opportunity. Obviously, I didn't take a lot of reps there in training camp and up to this point, but it kind of feels like going back home to me, doing the walkthroughs, kind of getting in the swing of things. I feel pretty comfortable. Honestly, I've had to do it before on a big stage. Obviously, everybody knows about that, Salyer said. Up to this point, I've kind of been doing that in practice, even before I got to practice, even before I got to the Chargers. For me, it's kind of just something that is normal for me, Salyer added. You never know what injuries are going to happen, who is going to go down, and I've kind of always been the swing guy on every team I've been on, so I'm excited for the opportunity. Obviously, this is a much bigger stage, but I'm ready to go.
Let's go, baby.
I'm excited.
That's what you want to hear. What you want to hear.
Let's go.
And then Joey Bosa, obviously we knew that he went out with a groin injury. The tweet came out from Ari Mirov. The Chargers are placing star defensive end Joey Bosa on IR. Bosa suffered a significant groin injury that will now require surgery during Sunday's loss to Jacksonville. They do expect him back this season. So again, like we said, just get him on IR. Get him on IR now. Why are we waiting? Get him on IR. They did it. He's getting the surgery. And from Jesse Morse, MD, Dr. Jesse Morse, tweeted out, Joey Bosa, initially I was concerned about adjudicator longest tear, grade 3, but that surgery is season ending. Since he will be able to return, this is likely a sports hernia. Usually these take 6 to 8 weeks to feel 100% again. Overall, good news. I mean, it's the best that we could hope for. I mean, that we could see him again before the end of the season is awesome. Obviously, we'd want to get him back soon. Need.
Honestly, like, and there's something with, Chris Rumph and some of these other guys giving them more opportunities to get better and, getting them more snaps. So we saw what Rumph did in the preseason and he was solid. So let's see if he can. He's not going to be a Joey Bosa. It's the same thing with Salyer. He's not going to be a Rashawn Slater, but let's see how good they can be and what these reps can do for him.
Yeah. In regards to Rumph filling in for Bosa, Staley said, the good news is that we're going to get Bosa back at some point this year. That's the thing about building a team. You want to build a team that can withstand the NFL because that's part of it. Our team is going to rally together, Staley added. We're going to have to make some adjustments, but I think we definitely have the guys to make adjustments with. And in talking to Chris Rumph, who will now assume a starting role, it's next man up. The standard doesn't drop at all. Some things you expect out of Joey, I expect out of myself. So that's the same things I expect out of myself as well. And in regards to learning from Joey and Khalil Mack, he said, yeah, I mean, those are two Hall of Famers. Anytime I'm in the meeting room, we're in a team meeting, I'm always picking their mind. When they're talking about themselves, I'm always right behind them, just picking up little things that I can apply to my own game. I'm not expecting to be Joey or Khalil, but there's certain things I can take from each one of them and apply to my own game. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying all the right things. It's just now we get to see what he's all about. I want to see the motor. I think it's always the only thing you can control is your effort. He's still a very young player in the NFL. But if he's just out there going as hard as he can on every single play, I just think good things are going to happen, man. You're going to get a good look with Khalil on the other side, taking up majority of the extra help and the protection.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge opportunity for him to step up and make big plays. I know the Chargers also putting Bosa on IR just opens up that roster spot, right? That's why I was like, just put him on IR. Let's get somebody else on the squad. They can start practicing and start moving things around, like getting to understand concept. And we did that. We placed Jalen Guyton on IR and picked up that kind of the swing guy that's been around the league, Steelers, moving around, that Derek Tuska, outside linebacker. We then picked up John Hightower, a wide receiver, kind of out of nowhere. It doesn't sound like Bandy's going to be able to he's not getting the bump that we had hoped for. After putting Rashawn Slater and Joey Bosa on IR, we promoted Jason Moore and tied in Richard Rodgers to the active roster. So as of right now, it doesn't look like Bandy's the next guy up. But I don't know. It's exciting to see all these new names, see who can step up. Maybe that's what we need, a little spark of somebody going out and making some big plays. I mean, it's crazy. The roster we opened up with now, DeAndre Carter's our leading receiver. It's like guys are stepping up. It's just, we have to be consistent. It's just not sloppy. Like, go out there and execute. I think we should be in good shape.
I feel good about this week. I feel good about where some of these other guys that we didn't have in the past are probably going to be coming back. Lindsley had a couple of good days of practice. So I think especially him with a new left tackle coming in, you're going to need a general on the line as much as ever. So if he can play, I think Herbert's going to have some time. And then if Herbert has time, good things happen.
Yeah, looking at the injury report, everybody was getting in a limited practice. Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, J.C. Jackson, Corey Lindsley, Donald Parham, all of those guys were limited. So good to see them at least out there and not practicing. Right. And this guy showed up on the injury report, Austin Johnson, with a shoulder injury, but he was getting in a full practice. So not something that we necessarily saw, but yet, I mean, I have to assume that came from the Jaguars game, getting that injury as well. So everybody that can practice is practicing, which is awesome to see. We want to see that. And then this kind of came out of nowhere. Daniel Popper tweeted out, Chargers announced former defensive lineman Jamal Williams will be inducted into the team's Hall of Fame during halftime of Week 7 versus the Seahawks. Williams played 12 seasons in San Diego from 1998 to 2009. Awesome.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
I love this guy. Will you ask any of like the older fans from like the 90s? They're like, who was like the most dominant player you had? LT obviously comes up a lot, but
Right.
Jamal, he was no joke.
He's in the conversation for the last 10 years since he's been on the team. We need a Jamal Williams. We need somebody up front. Like ever since he left, it felt like we had a huge missing piece of our defense. It was Brandon Mebane. Can he be the next Jamal Williams? Like that's when you know a guy had an impact. We're looking, how can we replace a guy that hasn't played in the team for 13 years? We're still like, who's the Jamal Williams that we can go find and pick up? Because he was absolutely dominant, just a big, gigantic force on the inside. That's really cool. That's shout out. If Phillip Rivers would just freaking retire already, maybe we could get him in the Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting too. Sean Merriman said, like, I love that guy. The reason my career started off the way it did was because of him taking all these blocks and me getting free and getting sacks production I did. So he was super excited for him to be able to be inducted. That's badass.
Absolutely. And then this week, folks, we are playing the Texans. I didn't even realize that they tied on their first game. I didn't realize we already had a tie game in this season, but apparently we did with them playing the Colts. So they are currently winless right now. They are 0-2 with one tie, tied with the Colts, lost to the Broncos, and lost to the Bears. Pretty close games, though. I mean, they're all one-score games here as far as their losses, so they're still staying in it.
What a difference a week makes, though, right? Like, if we were here with what didn't happen last week, I'd be like, we're going to murder these guys.
Right.
I can't say that. I can't say that until I see it.
No.
You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks. I don't have that extreme confidence. I'm still confident we're going to win, but I can't give you a crazy bolt prediction because I just
you can't
prove it to me.
You can.
Yeah.
You're just not going to be wholeheartedly behind
really
it.
swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the one thing that we haven't talked about is the Houston Texans injury report is pretty long. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys on the injury report. A lot of them did not practice. About almost more than half of them didn't practice. A couple of them are not injury related, of just guys getting some rest, but still, they've got a pretty extensive injury report. Now, normally we would look at that and go like, well, we're looking pretty good for the Chargers. Got a lot of guys on the injury report. Not this week, folks. We are just taking it like every other week. It's another.
We've been hurt.
We lost a couple of big guys
that got smacked. We're gun shy.
So, looking at the team statistical rankings on offense, I'm thinking this is the Texans, right?
Yep.
Okay. Offense, 83 rushing yards. They're 27th. Passing, they're 220, 23rd. Overall, they're 29th in yardage. And on defense, they've allowed 202 average rushing yards, which is the worst in the NFL.
That's insane.
Yeah, 225 passing
yards a game rushing is what they're allowing.
If we cannot get our offense, going in the run game going this week, it'll never happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen. This is the team to break out of the shell, come full blast out of it, and get good all of a sudden, and carry this into other weeks. Because if you can't do it now, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee, but God dang it, this has to be an opportunity. They've got to strike while
come
the
on,
iron is
Austin.
hot.
And when you have the backups, like you put a Jamaree Salyer in there, let him get off the ball and start hitting people. Go straight into these pass sets. Let's establish a run. It's just like that has to be the game plan. We have to establish a run in the first quarter of the game. It helps everything. It'll help pressure to the quarterback. Justin won't get hurt. Jamaree Salyer kind of gets some rhythm with playing left tackle, firing off the ball. Linemen want to run. They want to run block.
Pass blocking sucks.
I think that's got to be the game plan. With the team giving up we thought we were bad last year. 200 yards a game rushing. That's
unreal.
Insane. Against the Indianapolis Colts, they got Jonathan Taylor, so it makes sense.
The Broncos, their rushing attack, they fumbled like 3 times on the goal line or something in that game.
Right.
And then the Bears do have a pretty lethal attack. That Khalil Herbert went for like almost 160 yards against them.
Wow.
Because Justin Fields throw the ball like 12 times a game. So they did face some pretty run heavy teams. But we have to, we got to get 120, 130 in this game. Just has to happen.
It has to happen. And what else has to happen is you have to go over to chargerchat.com. You have to check out all the cool stuff we've got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. Chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in our member section and ask questions and Ask Bold Fam. Go check it out. You have to do it. chargerchat.com.
Do it.
All right, gang. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. You know them, you love them. It's the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Craig Experience.
hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Been the better part of a week now, and we've had time to stew in it, dwell on it, and there's time to move on, man, because we have the Texans up next, and the next game is always the most important one. So let's work to put this one behind us, talk about a few things, and look forward to this week. So with that said, CC gang, the biggest of salutes into the rest of the Bolt fam. What's going on? Got Craig in Texas, still in Texas, just not at home. And welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. Let's roll. Hey folks, allow me to first apologize for the sound quality or lack thereof in this video. Of course, you can see, and I mentioned before, I'm not at home, so I don't have all my regular stuff, and just trying to make it happen. I had to take a little bit of an emergency family trip. So again, please forgive your boy. But let's talk about what we need to talk about anyway. I won't keep you very long. How do we move past last week? Well, what other choice do we have? We have the remainder of the season left, and all is not over. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom going on in Charger land. A bunch of people have kind of thrown in the towel already, and I can kind of sort of understand why. But with that being said, what's the point of supporting a team when you're only around for the highs? So right now, just got to throw all the good vibes toward the team, and hopefully they can make another run. Well, continue to make a run here, get back on track, and everything they have is still in front of them. Of course, you got 2 very key injuries in Joey Bosa, who's probably out for over a month, and Rashawn Slater, Mr. Babyface Bully, who's more than likely out for the entire season, which led to a bunch of questions about the offensive line situation, whether or not Storm Norton was going to be protecting Justin Herbert's blind side, which probably didn't seem like the greatest thing, being that the guy already has busted ribs, and Storm has not looked very good at all. In comes Jamari Salyer, which I started lobbying for because the guy's played up and down the offensive line in his college career. It still has to be proven in the NFL, but take this for what it's worth. In high school, he was shutting down Aiden Hutchinson at their All-Star game. From there, in college, you saw him produce at Georgia versus Michigan. And not saying that that's going to be a week in and week out thing. Hutchinson's a rookie in the league also, but he was the golden boy pretty much in this year's on the defensive side of the ball in this year's draft. And Jamari proved that he can definitely hold his own against someone of that ilk. So he's got a little bit of the pedigree coming through the ranks from college to high school. And although he's not the ideal build or athletic ability or profile for the position, I can't see it being much worse than what we were getting from Storm. So it's worth a shot. And at least what it shows you is that the staff is considering everything, and they're actually evaluating these guys and allowing them, somewhat to get some action based on ability. Can't say productivity at this point because Jamari's not played in the game yet, but we already know what Storm is. We've got more than a season's worth of action to identify that. What we've seen thus far in this year hasn't boded very well for him. So in addition to that, with Joey being out, I'm going to have to see more Chris Rumpf and Kyle Van Noy. It's now time for Rumpf to step up and it's time for Kyle to show some of that veteran presence and take an even bigger leadership role, come in and do what they can to help quell some of that loss from Joey. It's going to have to be a team effort. They're going to have to manufacture pass rush some way. Can't leave it all on Khalil, because what you end up with is basically the same situation Joey was in last year, where teams are just doubling, tripling him, and nothing's coming from the opposite side. So hopefully they can make it happen. I leave it up to Staley to come up with some pretty decent schemes. Probably going to have Derwin doing what he's been doing, but maybe even rushing a little bit more. Coming from up the middle of the defense, on the edges, everything that DJ3 does. Okay, so, another name real quick that I would like to see get some run, because I liked what he did in the preseason, was Carlo Kemp. Hopefully they call him up. I think he's still around in the practice squad. And maybe he can get a little run in a rotation. Maybe it becomes a 3-man thing. And it helps to free Van Noy up to still play in the middle of the field a little bit. We'll see. Just some stuff that's rolled off the top of my head. So let's get into what I want to see versus the Texans. And I'm just going to keep pounding the table for it. The run game has to get going, especially since you have a quarterback that's playing at probably about 75 to 80% clip health-wise. Justin still made some incredible throws last week, but he was also still taking a bunch of unnecessary shots. Let's not talk about him being in the game when the game was well out of hand. Get the ball, manufacture touches for Austin Eckler. All the hype with Joshua Kelly this offseason, what was it about if you're not going to allow the dude to take meaningful snaps in the game? I don't know what's going on with Isaiah Spiller. Sony Michel is, there's not really much to talk about in that regard overall. Just the run game as a whole is completely non-existent. I'm still an old-fashioned football in particular. I'm an old-fashioned football dude in the way that I believe in the run game. Even if it's not the strongest aspect of your offense, it still has to be a viable one. Teams need to respect it, because the Chargers like to run a lot of play-action pass. And if you don't have at least a respectable run game, that ain't going to fly. How the Chargers get off a lot of their deep shots. And teams just don't care right now. They're not fighting on it, because if you can't make anything threaten the second level of a defense to maybe break for longer in the run game, then good luck. And you're not helping Justin out at all either. So look, again, brighter days are coming. I believe that. I still have faith in this coaching staff. I still have faith in this team. Ultimately, I still have faith in number 10, but he's only one man. And the rest of the team's going to have to rally around him and come together to try to overcome these injuries. And we're going to see exactly what this Chargers squad is made of. I mean, I feel like they made of the right stuff. You've got a head coach who, again, we know he says all the right things. And as far as leadership style, it's something that the guys have gravitated towards. So if they really back him and they trust him, I don't think the effort's going to be an issue. I just think, whether or not the plan and execution comes together is going to be what really is the thing we have to keep an eye on. But again, I don't have any doubt about it at this point. Again, it's still early. There's a lot of adjustments to be made. I mean, other teams have to go through their stuff, so it won't be perfect for everyone. You can look at it this way. We got pretty much the soul-snatching injuries out of the way, like the worst ones for the most part. And we've gotten a super embarrassing loss out of the way. Those are typically two things that happen in most Chargers seasons. Generally, they're a little bit more spread apart. Let's just look at it this way. We got it out of the way in the first few games of the season. So that's it. We'll just keep moving forward, guys. Let's keep supporting this team. Don't give up. It's not time for that. So till the next one, it's been your boy, you know who, TOP_FLYT3 on Twitter. Also, I don't have any Chargers apparel on today because of kind of having a freestyle all this. But Mr. Bolt Ganger don't bang regardless. I don't need any of this stuff on for you to know that you know exactly what it is. And again, guys, just stay bolted up and keep the team lifted up. And let's get past this week and move onwards and upwards. And our guys will get it situated. We'll get it figured out. So let's look forward to that. So again, till next time, stay bolted up, and okay, love you, bye.
Craig, I can forgive the bad audio, but next time don't record in a peacock farm. I don't know what was going on. I don't know who was screaming in the background, but hopefully you're eating them for dinner right now. Well, thank you, Craig, again, as always, for taking a look at all of that stuff. It's a lot to digest. I mean, again, week 3, I mean, we're still kind of looking back on it going like, what happened? Like, we're still trying to kind of process it. So talking together and getting our feelings out there, I think, is very helpful. And again, I'm excited for this next game. I'm ready for a new game. I'm ready for that game to be in the past. Time to look forward to the future and see what this team can do against a team that has the worst defensive rushing stats in the NFL. Please
come on,
take advantage of it.
If there's an obvious place to attack, like there's no more obvious thing. Let's go after it. Come on.
Right.
If we can see it, they can see it, and so can the other team. They know it. So just go impose your will and make it happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, Craig, thank you. And
thanks, Craig.
Now it's time to come up with some bolt predictions. It's tough, I know, after a week 3 that we just saw, but let's get bold. Let's get excited. Let's get hyped. What can we come up with for this upcoming game?
Kev, go ahead.
All right. So I looked at all these games leading up, and I was like, okay, I have some bold ideas for each one of these games and what to pick. Had to walk my back a little bit because it was just too extreme. I had them winning by like 25 points, 26 points, something stupid. So for this week, I think just to be kind of like, I need to get back on track as much as the team needs to get back on track. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go Chargers. I think we're going to score. I'm not that worried about scoring this week. I think we're going to have Keenan back. I think we're going to have some guys back. And I think our defense will play better than they did last week. So I think this is going to be 27-14.
Wow.
Chargers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have 130 yards rushing at least.
All right.
And Herbert's gonna have a nice game to say over 300 again.
Okay.
That's crazy because we need to say it at the same time because I feel like
the same thing.
I had 27-13. You had 28. You had 27-14. So pretty much identical. I have it 27-13, and Eckler just has to get in the end zone. He's gonna have 2 touchdowns. Like he has to. This is the game to get him jump started, get back in the right. I don't know. He scored 20 touchdowns last year. He had 0 through 3 games right now. So I have him having 2 touchdowns, 27-13 win.
Yeah, that absolutely has to change. All right. I'm gonna go Chargers win. I'm just gonna go simple. I'm gonna say 21-10. And I'm going to say that J.C. Jackson comes back, gets himself an interception.
Okay. I like that. So we all have him winning by more than 10. So that's good.
God, we have to we just have to get back on track here.
Right.
This is something where, and it's selfishly something where the fan base can be like, okay, that was a fun win. Like some fun stuff happened where you walk out of it because there's so many sad people in there. I know there's a lot of you out there, and be you, do you. But it does bring down some of the rest of us a little bit. So I'm hoping something comes out of that where some of the really, really annoyed fans are like, you know what, that was good. I like this. I'm really back on board again. Let's go.
Right. Last time we played these guys last year, things did not go well for us. So we have some redemption that is absolutely needed.
We're good at getting redemption. We're good at playing against teams where we had a bad loss and we were like, you know what, we're coming back. We're going to kick your ass. So this is that opportunity. So
let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it's a short one, folks. It's not too much has transpired, but I think we got everything out on this Friday episode. So I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
K, love you. Bye.
K, love you. Bye.
K, love you. Bye.